Does it show that it's recording on your end?
We've started.
Yeah, I like Snoop. I don't care what nobody say, even though he said what he said about Gail. She should have did what she did.
He had hurt feelings. Can we just forgive him? He's friends with Martha. He's bridging gaps. He's creating cross-cultural unions. Like, he just got his feelings hurt. Gail will be all right.
Listen. Yeah, it was wrong, but look, I shouldn't even say a but she should have did what she did. Period.
It was just not what not what anybody needed at the time.
Girl, it took me 7+ months to even look at him, let alone hear anything about him.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still not over it, and I don't even know the man.
No, I don't think for me, I think the kind of the trauma of that whole situation with that is one of those things you just don't ever really get over. Like,
hello,
that tragedy for sure.
And what was it? A few weeks? It wasn't even long since it happened.
Well, and I just kind of was like, I just don't even understand why we have to even address this issue. Like, I don't understand why we have to talk about it.
There was no room for that of what she wanted to. She lucky she got the response she got and nothing else. Because I think had it been anybody else besides the lovely Lisa Leslie,
yeah,
I think they would have had to stop tape.
Mm-hmm. I don't feel like anybody needed that. Nobody needed that. Nobody needed that. The world just wanted to come together to mourn, you know?
And furthermore, he wasn't found guilty of anything.
Correct. And furthermore to that, right, is the thing of it is that this happened how many years ago? It was a blip in a situation that was unfortunate by all accounts and whatever. But in the culmination of a life, that's what even needs to have any sort of place.
And where was your antennas when it happened? Why wasn't you saying all this then?
This was put to rest decades ago. That's all. It was put to rest decades ago.
He suffered, he lost endorsements, all that mess. And when things turned around and truths were spoken, the fact that he didn't put it out there for people to follow up on, knowing that he was kind of, I wouldn't say victorious in it, but he wasn't made to, he continued his career without anything else, fines, penalties, or what have you from his employer.
Right.
There was no mention of anything like that going on. So he regained his momentum back and he got back in the fray of things, and he was himself ever since.
Well, and I think too, the way he went on to live his life shows the caliber of his character.
Exactly.
I mean, how he responded from a situation that we don't even legally have any sort of clarity on, to be honest. None of us really know what the hell happened other than whatever, a situation where an athlete got caught up in some of the game of the game.
I know what happened, and I wasn't even there.
You know? So, and besides, the thing of it is that, like I said, and like you said, there was a whole second half of a life dedicated at, like, the caliber of his character is reflected in the way he lived his life.
So what about his life made that thing you said so important to bring up?
Exactly.
After all of what he's done thus.
Yes. Because usually when people have a blight on their character like that, they have other things, you know? So like you bring it up because it's part of a pattern or it's part of a trajectory or it's something like that, right? This was actually not the case. No, I definitely found it offensive that it was even brought up. It was like, oh, come on.
That's offensive. We all know it was offensive. It just so happens, you know, she caught the wrong one and Snoop. And, and he wasn't the only one who said something. I ain't gonna, you know, ain't that deep to put everybody, you know, saying all that. But
no. Yeah.
That was wrong as two left shoes.
Right, exactly.
And she never offered a real apology. Now she may have to the family behind closed doors, but what she said in front of my ears was not an apology.
Nope.
But let's talk about something else because I miss him.
I know. We don't want to get too depressed, but R.I.P. Little Angels.
Okay.
It was fun.
Oh, what?
Oh, I was gonna say it was fun though to watch Mary fling herself on the ground. It was fun to see Snoop. No, that last move like a snow angel. That was just.
I didn't see that part.
She just flung out like a snow angel. That's what she looked like. It was hilarious. All on the white with her white hair. It was hilarious. It was great.
Listen, there are certain people that can do no wrong.
Right.
Mariah Carey, Patti LaBelle, and Mary J. Blige. I don't care what she was doing and what she was wearing and what not.
I liked what she was wearing. I thought she looked good.
I love her so much.
No, I thought, hey, no, I was impressed. But to switch over, the Housewives of New Jersey.
Girl, them.
They
went first.
They are physical.
Well, you know, they always say, you know, they got this stereotype about Black women being physical. So.
Oh well, no, Jersey stereotype, 100%. Yeah, this is yes, and
you know what they say about dark Italians? They more kinfolk than skin folk,
right?
But that's just what I heard growing up. Really, it's what I heard growing up.
My mom grew up in New York. And so, like, there is absolutely a specific, you know, like New Jersey Italian, New York Italian, any Irish, all of that stuff. There's a legit culture there for sure. But first of all, I just, I feel so, I don't feel bad for whatever. Jennifer, your nose.
Nosy Aiden.
Whoo. Just and
that's on her face.
Like it was a ski slope. Oh, it was just so. Anyway, I do respect the fact. I do like the way Jennifer kind of addresses certain things. She put a post on her. I do honestly. I think that's why I like that they keep her around.
I'm cool with her.
Right. Well, and I also kind of like how she like owns she's got a certain level of kind of naivete that totally reminds me of like some of like my East Coast family, you know, I don't know. I appreciate what she brings in that sense.
I agree.
I think that, and I think we also need her to run off at the mouth because sometimes there's nothing else to get the party started.
True. I agree with that too.
And what do you think about the bringing the affair to the table this season?
Not a problem. Keep it coming. There's nothing wrong with what Margaret.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with what Margaret did and how she did it and where she did it and where. Nothing. I have do it again. As far as I can do it again. Because you know why? It's the same exact thing Jennifer got put back on her. Jennifer did the same thing. And then she talked about somebody's mama being a hoe in the process. She lucky she didn't get a drink thrown in her face at the same time.
She did go really hard on that shit. I think that she was going after Margaret because she was identifying her with the kind of woman that Bill cheated on her with.
That too. All that's relative. Exactly. Yep.
But, you know, at the same time, too, I'm kind of the thing that everybody thinks about. When you go on a reality show, it's going to come to light. Whatever you've got is going to come to light. It just will. And anytime you're naive enough to think that it won't, you absolutely screw yourself. I was listening to, it's called Behind the Velvet Rope with David Yontef. He's good friends with Kim D, you know, the Porsche owner. Posh, the way she spells that, I'm sorry, but like, give me a break.
She was high when she did it. Go ahead.
It was back in the day when you had like a screen name that was like, you know, Atlas Girl with the GURLL, you know, triple R and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But and they were talking about how, you know, I think that Dr. Jen from Orange County is understanding the same thing, is that when you go on a reality show, there are people, it becomes lucrative to expose your shit. For sure. It's a whole business. And it's even better when it's like, doesn't matter if it is salacious or not. It's all in how it looks.
It's all in how people perceive it. Exactly.
All you need is a one-line clickbait. All you need is a one-line clickbait. So literally the line click, I don't know. To me, if they were going to try and stand on this argument or this situation for the whole season, I would be like, get out of here, right? It's just simply, it was an old affair. They got over it. Now we know that Bill was kind of, wow, he seems so nice.
I mean, honestly, so far was like we're going on the third episode that has been kind of talked about now. Mm-hmm. Well, dang, that's like every episode, huh? Since the first one. Yes. Hey, Mark got it cracking. What was I gonna say? Oh shoot, what was I gonna say?
Well, you said that it seems like they've been talking about it for all 3 episodes.
Oh yeah, I mean, girl, just get over it. It's not that bad, and honestly, it's not as salacious as the rumor about Jackie's husband. Well, it may not be a rumor, huh? Did I hear somebody say Frank knew the girl? Is that what Nosy Aiden was trying to get at? The girl that he allegedly didn't do nothing with?
Mm-hmm. And if anybody would know somebody like that, it would be Frank.
Now, just on that proves Jackie is living in a fantasy world, because she don't even want to know about it, even if it's true.
Oh, well, that's why, and I don't mean to be like, this is an area I want to tread lightly for just the sake of it, but she's the one that brought it up. I think, why would it flared up her anorexia?
Yeah, and that could be the real reason why she don't want to bring it up.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the way she was really open the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And it was surprising to me that she opened up like that. And just in that cut and paste that they gave us to watch,
right,
she was covering up, not wanting to be as vulnerable as that she really is, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she said some very disturbing things, in my opinion,
mm-hmm,
not even concerning her offspring, just what she said about her. It's like you said, tread lightly. I get it. Again, you know, just trying to cover up and not really, you know, like Nosy was doing all his time.
Right.
You know, what is that? Projecting her emotions on Margaret and her mom because she was the wife when
Yes.
Margaret and her mom was the other woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she seems to have that air about her who would take it out on any woman who was a mistress.
It's very, because Jen has a very childlike quality to her kind of emotional intelligence.
Well, we see her parents.
Right? Oh, yeah.
They're children too.
And that's kind of a side note, but that's why I kind of feel bad. Like, I have a little bit of empathy maybe for the situation, because like Jennifer and Bill didn't even know each other. They had like arranged marriage. Like, she was a virgin when they got together. Like, how great do you think that was? Like, it probably took them a couple of years to even figure out what the heck to, get in the rhythm of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm not excusing that kind of thing. It must have been horrible to go through, but they also weathered the storm, and I don't know. They seem like they have a healthy marriage now. So that's enough for a couple of episodes, but please let's move on to the red-faced baboon. But back to Jackie. Jumping back like a ping pong ball. I feel like this show is very hard on certain like, what I'm trying to think of the right word I want, but certain challenges that women have. Yes. And I think anorexia and eating disorder is very challenging to have on this show because of the level of how much it triggers with all of the different things, right?
Right.
And we saw that on New York with the other housewife who was putting the pokey things in the calzone. And I just think, I think Lisa Rinna is a functional, I think she's been hiding it for, like, nobody's like straight. I mean, she's been called out on it before, but nobody's really gotten real with it, and I'm sorry, but the apple doesn't fall far from the tree with kids.
Hello.
So I feel bad for Jackie because I feel like this is really hard on challenging for her to stay well. But I also like, I applaud her openness.
Right.
Because this is a real storyline. And if you're going to really work on it and be committed to being in therapy and like recovering, I think this would be very powerful for a lot of people who are struggling to go on the journey with you.
At the same time, she doesn't have to prove or do that or be a spokesperson for anything.
No.
But at the same time, her convictions and everything, because I really like her and how she portrays herself.
Yeah.
Since day one, I like how she thinks,
I respect she's authentic. Like she may hang on to things to the point that you want to slap her because she's hanging on to a little scrap, but she's very direct, like right away. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, however you felt about it, she called Teresa's hypocrisy right out. That's all she did. It just offended the fuck out of Teresa, but she just called out blatant hypocrisy.
Right. And I appreciate that about her because it's refreshing to see that on that show. The last person who did that was Carolyn Manzo.
You are absolutely right. They do need someone who's willing to do that because there is either fear or ass kissing. I mean, even she's admitted she's afraid of Teresa. She's like, I just want to be on her good side this season. You can just tell.
In a way, I consider her to be the Carolyn Manzo person type and Marge to be the Wakili type. Cool, but I will say something that'll get you off of me, but at the same time, I'm caring enough to not leave you and let you fester. I'm gonna talk to you and straighten it out because I care.
Yeah, honestly, I never really understand, like, to a certain point, like, why anybody gets really mad with Margaret. Like, she is on it. I think, she said to Teresa, you didn't need the nose job. And I think maybe she offends people that don't care for her sometimes with her honesty, but I don't feel like that's, like, worth some of the venom,
You think Marge gives venom?
No, that Marge is catching, that she catches, is what I'm saying.
I think because she comes real enough, not real like like not housewife real, but real, and they're used to housewife real. She doesn't sugarcoat it the way the housewives normally do.
No, I do think I appreciated her candor about the lawsuit. I think like even I appreciated her candor up front about, the beginning of her marriage and her life. And because she did it in a way where she's not ashamed and she's not allowing anybody to have those kind of judgments on the situation. And that to me is always the most powerful way to come into these shows. Like, no, you don't have to like literally dump all your business on Front Street. But if you're worried about some certain things that you think might be issues or whatever, address them up front and refuse to tolerate any disrespect on it and just move forward. I think that, it's interesting the way that Margaret's being shifted this season to be more of an antagonist, though,
I think it's easy to look that way because people cater to those who, like, how can I say this? I think because people are pitying Jennifer, even though Jennifer has been worse. I'm sorry. She has just, I just think people favor the mean girl versus who they should favor.
Right. And honestly, I appreciate the fact that Margaret actually calls out, like, with like even the Danielle situation. Danielle was treating her like shit.
Right.
And she finally snapped. I mean, it was very evident at that wedding. She was literally, and it's like, sometimes I'm like, are you doing this for the show or what? Because I'm like, but I believe that Danielle is that awful.
I do too.
But I mean, I feel like, what I thought was interesting? I thought it was funny when Jennifer said to, like, with all the ladies there, she's like, well, Jennifer said, Dolores is better friends with Margaret. And Margaret's like, yeah, she is better friends with me. And Dolores was like, no, I'm not. And she's like, yeah, because we're better friends. You know what I mean? It was like, you saw Dolores trying to play both sides, which is hilarious. It's like, Dolores, get out of here. Like, you pick your favorites. You just do. You have your favorites. Remember how close she was to Squiggy? Is that what's her name?
Who is Squiggy?
Squiggy, Squishy, Iggy?
Oh, girl, she's so far forgotten.
I know.
She's a Trump supporter chick, ain't she?
That's what I'm saying. That says something. Girl. Oh, man. That was your BFF on the show?
I mean, listen. From my understanding about how her and her sister ain't talking,
Siggy
is dumb, in my opinion.
Who?
Now, again, I ain't grew up with them. I don't know all the ins and outs. But the fact that I remember the fact that when Dina took Teresa's side on the show, I was like, how can you take Teresa's side and she's acting like this on the show? That's just stuff we see.
Mm-hmm.
And they always have a bomb-ass cutting room floor. I wish they put that stuff out as bloopers or pay-per-view, because I know it's some good stuff.
Well, and you know what else, too, is that I found out, like, production does shit that's as shady as, like, they'll tell how, like, one housewife, the filming starts at noon. They'll tell the other housewife it starts at 3, so that the housewife thinks that the other housewife is late and rude, and it starts them off on a bad foot.
You're lying.
Noella actually exposed that one.
Shut up. Noella exposed it. She just got there last week.
I know, but this is what she explained, because Heather said to Noella, you were late when you came to my house to see all of my narcissistic things. You were late. And Noella pulled up a call sheet and was like, I don't know if she did it on the show or on the after show, or like, anyway, I don't remember where I saw it, but she's like, no, I think it was on the after show. Mm-hmm. I was told to be there at 4:00. That was my call time. Noella, like I got there right when I was told. So like production literally told her to come later to piss off Heather.
Wow.
And see, that's why when you talk about the way that they edited Mary, I'm really not that surprised because there is a toxic level that they will cut them in order to get what they need. And I wonder, I think we would all be like absolutely shocked at the level that they've gone. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, I think Monique kind of put it out there,
100%.
Huh?
I said 100%. I think Monique tips on that. Yeah.
And how they tried to portray her husband with the help of Giz Hale.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. So you want to portray, insinuate that about him, but not tell the truth about Giz Hale yelling and screaming.
Right.
Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah. That's why things is gonna go the way they gonna go. And we gonna see how things go in the next couple of years. How people are affected. Just watch. If not already. Well, actually, one did happen. Remember when Giz Hale, and that's what I call her, Gizzhe.
Right. We've got Giz Hale, Gabrissy.
All that.
Yes.
The way her daughters put her out there as if she's a bad mother, the same way Giz Hale tried to portray Monique. Well, you have a daughter, and the way you're acting, see how it come back to you?
Mm-hmm.
She verbatim was trying to lambaste Monique about that fight she had with, well, not really a fight, that situation she had with Candace. And I'm like, See, it's one thing to conspire, but the fact that the fight happened, you just got to sit back and let the fall chips where they may.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to poke and prod and try and make it seem like it's more than, because you don't want the girl on the show anyway. Because she got more than you and she looked better than you and she's you 20 years ago.
And $20 million more.
Girl, we all know what that was about. Come on now.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry, but I never forgave Giselle. You pushed Monique. Your hand is in the shirt.
Yes.
You and the way you put, and now listen, I understand in this situation that maybe because of how close they were and you don't like Monique, you just kind of reactionary, like tried to push her out of Candace's face because you were like, it was a lot going on. It was already getting nervous. Okay. As my daughter would say, it was already getting nervous.
And pushed Monique out of spite. No matter if it was a tiny thing. Right. But you could her so-called licking.
You could see her fingers, the way she pushed her, like, get out of her face kind of thing, like, boom, it was a push. And that, I believe, if you look at the footage, is why Monique started swinging.
Monique said, I felt somebody push my vest.
Yes, well, there's the push. I always felt really unsatisfied with the way they covered that situation, because what it really was a tragic breakdown of a situation where a couple of things went awry in order to create it. Yeah. Because I do not think Monique would have been provoked into being violent had Giselle not pushed her when they were in it was like the exact wrong time to get physical.
And if that's the case, why didn't she stay there in the mix of it?
Mm-hmm.
And why didn't anybody else do what she did? That's because Giz Hale was upset. Why don't you stop doing stop? She hit her like a stop, just like you explained.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep hearing people say that's who Monique really wanted to go after. I don't think so. I just think she just misguided her anger towards somebody that just kind of ticked her off and she just ran with it.
I think the situation got her nervous system into fight or flight. you know, based on the past that she's had and all of that stuff, right? I think her nervous system just got jumped into fight or flight. And with the way that she was kind of being, the situation was degrading, that push jumped her into, oh, you're fighting with, you know what I mean? It just it made the hand curl around the wig. But I'm sorry, but the way that Candace would get in the face, and you know, we all didn't blame Portia because of the way Kenya was up in her face, right? Like we all kind of gave her a little bit there. You just can't invade somebody's space like that and not be prepared that it might go awry.
True. I think Candace likes to bring her mouth to a fist fight. I think that she expects the law to be adhered to when she's degrading people with her mouth and making them angry and boiling. Yes, people have the choice to not do certain things, but when you are in a violent, hostile space, and you keep engaging that person more and more,
exactly,
you know what could happen to you.
Yep.
Now, I'm not excusing anything. All I'm saying is I saw it with Mia. You know, I see it with her own husband. She has an issue with what how she chooses to deliver information.
Oh, it's true. Yeah. I mean, yes. And it makes the whole situation even like it made it uncomfortable, right? Because last season, just watching him, I'm not saying the way he was speaking to her was appropriate or any of that stuff, but I also respect that he's probably so sick and tired of her mouth getting them in such hot water and the emotional toll it takes on him when she's hated.
I think so. He's torn because he understands how people feel about his wife.
Yes, he does. And he apologizes. And that's the thing. Everybody says they all like Chris. They're like, we make hate, even Ashley can't stand Chris, you know, Candace, but we all, and I think it's probably really hard for Chris because it seems like he's kind of one of those likable, you know, people, right? In a group setting or whatever. And yet he's got somebody that's creating the opposite in this group.
Right.
But I mean, the thing is, did you see, just to jump back to Jersey, did you see the apology on the beach video?
Apology on the beach?
For Jersey, that was the big rumor about Louis. Like, there was this really weird video that surfaced. It was on the last episode. That was part of what they were talking about at the party.
Yeah.
Did you see the actual video?
I didn't see with him and all the guys. No.
I did. I saw it back when it came out, and it's he's whatever. I'm of two camps because the thing is, there's just a lot of rumors about him. But I also think to myself, she very well she could be in an appealing enough situation that he's ready to be, you know, he's happy, right? Because he likes the camera and all of that.
I hope he's on the up and up and he's not on the down low.
Oh no, the odds of him are a little dicey that he's all on the up and up. That's the problem.
And I don't know if maybe I am out of touch with different cultures, but it's a lot of affection with these men over in Jersey.
No, they take it to a level that is like it's like two dudes like, oh, we're going to make you like uncomfortable by the shit we do. But when Frank kissed Joe Gorga's booty.
Girl, wait a bare butt, not bare butt.
Yes, buttock.
And did you hear what he suggested they do on the last episode?
Yes.
See, listen, whatever floats your boat, don't get me wrong. But it just seems
literally
it's a lot. Now again, if it's a cultural thing, because I think they all about the same culture, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I mean, if we're gonna like stereotypically, some in Italy, it's a lot more affectionate, grabby, like it's a much more physical culture in Italy as well. Kissing on both cheeks, like all of that stuff. But
Okay,
they are not in the realm of normal.
now I've seen that, but I don't see the affection
No,
that I see these guys do. That's
they
what I
all.
mean, like down low type affection. If they supposed to be with women, why are they affectionate with women as they are with men? That's what I mean. I don't mean just a kiss on the cheek. I seen their culture do that.
Sure. No, I agree with you. They're far more in bromanced with one another than what's normal. No, they are very. I think though another thing is too, they get super wasted, and I think Joe Gorga is like a horny little bastard, and I think that honestly, I do think if there weren't cameras, he would totally do, I
You
think
know
he would.
what? Speaking of that, you haven't seen Big Brother, but Lamar and Tadrick have a
No,
flirty thing going. Not like this all of what they do, but they have this playful flirty
yes.
thing.
Yes, no, I've been following along like the on the side notes, so like I'm kind of aware, and from what I've heard, Todrick is really playing a game.
Oh yeah, Todd. Listen, Todd should have put Misha and Todrick up when he had the chance. I don't know what Todd is thinking. He is not.
I don't think he is thinking.
At that point when he won head of household, he should have said that at that point they need to get the stronger, they need to start dwindling down strong players.
Right.
Because they're pretty much all strong. So you start taking out the strongest until you get to, something more compatible for everybody. He should have put both Misha and Todrick up because either of them is going to leave because they're the strongest players.
And they're an alliance.
That was like, come on, Todd, come on, do it. And he did what they wanted him to do.
Yeah.
That made me mad. No, Todd, no.
That's what everybody was saying. Yeah, some people do not like Todrick Hall.
I haven't heard anything negative about him, but what I did see on those outtakes, I think last night they showed on Big Brother how he was talking to Kirkpatrick, the dude from NSYNC.
Right.
He kind of read him the riot act about the game. I'm like, everything in there is a lie. What's the issue? Everybody got to lie to somebody to get ahead. Somebody ain't gonna tell the truth, and the truth is barely being spoken. So, why he yelled at him like that and went off on him like that about not being truthful is, I don't know if that's the game or if he was for real, but that didn't make sense to me at all.
I saw him in an interview, and he was trying to justify like that he was sacrificing himself to keep Carson in, like, and he wanted to play the game with integrity and stuff like that. So
who said that?
Chris.
I don't know what that means.
But
the game is to lie. So what is the integrity issue?
Yeah.
Because personally, if I was Todrick, I would have voted. Well, listen, it would have been a whole house upset if I was in there. Because I would be telling them one thing and playing my game on the low.
That's what you got to do, right? I mean, if there's anything that I understand about Big Brother, especially because, like, I think about like how Tamar won because she was a big fan. You have to be familiar with the game, and you need to like know you're playing a strategy.
Yeah,
like legit. Yep.
And Lamar don't know nothing. He
No.
asking questions now, and there's 5 people left. And he already said, "Well, I'm gonna vote you out," but so and so said, "Dude," I'm like, "What?"
Oh man, he's just walking around like a zombie for a check.
He is a sitting duck. But if he went and had a household, see, that's the thing. They need to get Misha and Tydrick out of there. Tide messed that up. He should have been put them on the chopping block. I want to play that game. It seems fun.
I could see you doing it.
Now, when they had a game to drink something that didn't have that didn't have stuff other than alcohol in it, I was like, okay, we may have a problem.
Right.
Patrick wasn't feeling that game at all. He was like, I'm not drinking this. He had it with that drink. He was like, I don't even drink, first of all. Some had garlic in it, and I'm like,
Yeah, you can. I don't want any Fear Factor shit.
Well, at least it ain't bugs. It's just nasty stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, that's Fear Factor to me. Yeah.
I'm like, no, thank you. And I kind of have and the no privacy thing, and the lights are on. You need to have a mask to even sleep. Like that shit's like, ooh.
Oh, they don't have masks on in there. They good. Everybody in there is just willy-nilly.
I know. Oh no, I mean like to sleep. I mean because don't they have the lights on all the time, so they need to use sleep masks to sleep over their eyes?
No, were actually complaining about how pitch black it is when the lights are off at night.
Oh, that's right, because Chris Kattan goes wandering around in the dark.
Girl, I was rolling on Chris Kattan.
I know.
Funny.
I need my nighttime meds. In fact, the fact that he has nighttime meds, he shouldn't be on this show.
What's wrong with him? Is something going on? Really?
He doesn't seem right. He seems fragile.
Like, is it mental or physical?
I think a little bit of both.
Oh, damn. Well, bless his heart.
Yeah, he just didn't seem like he had the nervous system or the constitution for this show.
Because he was like, he just went to the door, I'm out.
He just went for a check and said, this ain't worth it.
He was like, I told y'all I was ready to go. Y'all I was ready to go. So why am I still here? Wait, did you see him eat all that cake?
Yes, I did.
That's for a reason why he gone. He got
clawing in the cake.
He needed insulin.
That's when you know, that's what I'm saying, the night drugs and stuff. It's like, who knows what he was on, walking around, sleepwalking and stuff. I heard Lamar shit the bed.
Oh.
Yep.
I haven't seen that or heard that yet.
That is a rumor floating around.
Oh, damn.
It's a hard life. He's been through a lot. He's put that body through a lot. So I don't know.
Well, that's what he gets for leaving Taraji. Shit.
Yes. Yes.
Leave her for that mess. I ain't want to put them on a platform. I don't even like them like that. But she left Taraji.
Have you been watching Growing Up Hip Hop?
Yes.
I'm like,
yes too.
I was gonna say, speaking of a guilty pleasure, oh my goodness.
Survivor is gonna get her face smashed in by somebody if she don't get her mouth together.
Wait, say that again.
Ivana was gonna get her smashed in by somebody if she don't get her mouth together.
What do you think it is? To me, it's like, was it young and privileged or something? Like, it's like you just seems like you don't get that. Wow,
partly is because of who her daddy is, and he's an absentee father.
Yeah,
and no telling what's going on with her mama. I don't know, but the fact that she acts like this, just when I saw her upset and mad and about to fight Haley, whatever her name is.
Right.
Her whole demeanor she looked like a man, and I'm not dogging her. I'm just saying her whole demeanor, she was just different.
Mm-hmm.
She was it looked like
she closes down in a certain way during confrontation. Like that, like it's almost like aggressive mode. Do you know what I mean?
She's hot-headed, immature.
Mm-hmm.
She's like her daddy. Sorry.
Well, yeah. That's true. I mean, that man's never grown up.
Her name speaks volumes, and she named after him, girl. Sometimes, the app, it's just plain as day.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not like I want her to get punched in the face. It's just how she is. I really don't.
I know.
It ain't that deep, but who I do want is Sam.
Right.
He has really got a hold on her, and it's sad that she don't see he ain't ish.
No.
He got 2 kids he don't take care of.
Nope. And that she probably makes sure whatever child support he's got to pay is paid.
But he got kids, and he fool all lying around with you. Yep. Instead of getting a job and taking care of his kids. How about you be on the show and I won't, and I'm going to go see if I can take care of my kids? I don't know. Maybe because I'm a mama. I don't know.
No, I mean, he has always come off to me like an opportunist, that like this situation is a come up. This situation is, and maybe he's convinced himself he's in love with her or whatever, but like he's not. Like every time they've got some stupid ass scheme. Oh, we're going to sell these hairless cats. No, you're not. Oh God. Like we're going to do this. Everything is like tacky and low level. And it's like, you're just bringing down the family legacy. You're constantly like with your dumb actions. Like, why the hell did you even have a piece? And why were you out in the clubs like that? Like, what are you doing? You literally have put yourself in a situation now that you had an opportunity that anyone would have wanted to have. Like, you just flush it all. Just keep going,
The fact that he was pumping her up to fight Brianna at that time, a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. And, just not supporting the fact, who's that came on the show? Was it his kid's mom's sister, the aunt? Or somebody related to his kids that came on the show when they got her on the show that time? I think TT got on the show, I think. Or was it Brianna, or both of them together?
Yeah. I don't remember.
I don't know who that woman was. I don't think it was his baby mom. I don't think it was his mother. But, she was just describing him as what we see him as.
Well, even his dad kind of did.
Girl.
You remember when Pep met up with him? Yes. His dad was kind of like, yeah.
Yes. I'm like, Tretch ain't scared him off. I mean, if Tretch was my dad, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Use him for, he needs to use his powers for good, and he should have been and got rid of that dude a long time ago.
Yes. Yeah. It was definitely, yeah. Their situation just gets more and more tragic. No, not tragic, pathetic.
I just think he got her looking like a boy because that's what he liked. Mm. And I hope I'm not offending nobody. But it just seems he's just so manipulative.
Yes.
And
no, he's definitely played a head game on her. It's sad.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Like, regardless of, he's modeling her into some version of what he wants, and she's running around like a fool saying, no, this is what I want. This is what I want. But it's like, I don't think you understand how foolish you look to America or like to everyone watching.
I'm like, what? Child.
And then when they were doing that OnlyFans shit, like they always are doing some stupid ass schemy shit.
And that's what I mean. Tretch ain't scared him off yet. But just there are 3 things I've seen thus far that if Tretch was any of my kinfolk, I would have used his powers for good.
Right.
Because looking at him is scary.
It is. Looking at him, you know there's connections.
Hello.
You just know.
I feel bad for her.
You know the OPP is not far away from, other people's pointers. No, that you know what I mean? Other people's weapons too.
And it's real easy for people to accept you because acceptance is the thing now. Whatever somebody say, accept them. And I'm not trying to act light on nothing. I'm just saying that's the thing now. Unless it's just absurd, But that's the thing. If that's how they are, that's what they want, then that's what we need to give them. And I think that's what he's using on her.
Yes.
Young, naive, and she's into that.
Yes.
100%. On the show, she was very bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yeah. Well, even when they were doing that whole, Joker and Harley Quinn shit, she's totally bought into this crazy, crazy love. That's what she said after they just got married recently. And she said, if love doesn't have some level of insanity, then like, it's not real love or something like that. It was like, nobody's looking at this situation of you guys together and thinking that.
And I want her to stop using B and J as goals, because you ain't nothing like that.
I know. It's just kind of funny because you're like, I get that you really feel like you're part of this power couple with him, like the weirdos or whatever you guys are, the misfits, but it's just not, this shit is too cracked to be coming off that way, unfortunately.
That ain't it. What's her name?
Egypt,
that ain't it.
Yeah. It's not working. It's not giving us edgy. It's not giving us edgy. It's giving us tacky.
And you know what else? How I know he's using her? A lot of people who use and manipulate will put off to the person people they want to manipulate the persona of who they are instead of the reality of who they are portraying.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine to hope and wish, which a lot of women do, about hoping and wishing he could act better, or he used to act like this, or I know it's in him, so I'm going to stick with him. That's what it seemed like to me. He's pumping her full of that about himself instead of, girl, he got 2 kids he don't take care of, and he ain't working, and he choosing not to work. Girl, bye. And you trying to be somebody mama?
I just it's just crazy to me because you see, I think it's last season, Tretch literally say to Sam, you cannot get into bullshit anymore. You have to understand that people are going to be coming for you because of your affiliations, because being on this show. you cannot be stupid anymore. You can't move. And he even said to him, you can't move with my daughter like that. And that's exactly what he did. He moved like that, got her involved in the fight, in the situation. And now he's looking at like, what is it? It's like he's looking at like over 10 years.
And the first fight he got her in was a coworker.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like I'm kind of baffled as to why they didn't put a squash on this one, because it just kind of got out of proportion. But I mean, it's honestly like their ridiculousness is part of why we watch.
Right.
So I do kind of, with all due respect, because, you know, I love Salt and Pepper. I think they did Spinderella wrong, but
all day they did, all day.
For the record, I'm like, but I still can, like, if I want to take a guy, like, if you want to ask me the most song, like, lyrics that I can rap, their Salt and Pepper songs.
Yeah, I was disappointed in what they did to her. I'm like, 30 years and y'all still consider her at-will employee? Really?
Yeah, it was disappointing because I'm sorry, as far as I was concerned, and I think anybody that was there and grew up enjoying them, it was Spinderella Turn It Up One Time. Like, she was a part of it.
Listen, we all know there was another DJ before, whatever her name was. However,
I'm sorry to that lady.
Exactly. However, we all now, even though it was not stated and Spinderella, we would say the N was Spinderella. We was this Salt and Spinderella. Excuse me, Salt and Pepper. The N is for Spinderella because we knew she was a part of the group. How they do it? What happened? You know, so what happened with y'all? Why are y'all doing this woman like that?
Yeah, it felt sad because it's like I can't enjoy this reboot now to know that you're like really kind of that's what's happening with you guys. Like, ew.
Yeah, me too.
So, and honestly, I look at what's going on with Pep's family and storyline on Growing Up Hip Hop, and I'm like, well, it kind of, the way that you're doing Spinderella is kind of reflected in the way y'all are running your household too.
Girl,
you know what I mean?
I just think it's wrong. I just think it was just wrong. And it's real funny how Pep is not really on the show like that.
No. She just always comes in and sounds like confused, and then she's like on Egypt's side, even though it's like there's nothing to defend.
Yeah, she's not there to make waves. She'll let the kids do that.
Yeah.
But, no, you need to parent. And I don't know. It's like, I don't know. She's so gung ho to have all the limelight. Now it's like, I don't know.
I feel like right now, even though the show is engaging, like is great to watch, it's sad. They're all in they're in some dark situations.
What else is going on?
Well, then there's Brianna's situation with her getting arrested in her house.
I haven't seen. Did that come on yet or next week? I know it's in the next episode. Did I miss it?
No, I think it's this week, right? Yeah. Yes, this week. But you know, I really like Brianna. Like, I think she's a good narrator, but I just like, you can see that like something about doing this makes her turn to substances on a scary level.
Well, she was already doing substances on a scary level prior to the show.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the show. And she has a young child.
Yeah. It's like I said, this is dark.
She's a problem child, from my understanding. How she described herself.
Mm-hmm.
Doing this and doing that. I mean,
She had it's a complex situation where she apparently, and I'm not even going to relay this that well because it's like, oh, allegedly speaking, of course.
Okay.
No, here's the point, like that about Brianna too, is like I think she's extremely smart, and I think she's a good narrator. I do, and I just wish I could see her win a little bit better. You know,
me too.
That's the way I feel. So when about like after that, the thing of it is though is like, okay, so she has some credit issues and used someone else's credit to get a car. Now, apparently some payments were starting to get missed, and probably the details of that are quite different between the person who had the car note and Brianna, right? Whatever. Right. So it got to the point where it got hostile. And so the woman reported the car stolen, and the cops came to the house. And apparently she said she couldn't see anything outside of the people, like other than the woman who she's like beefing with. So she went and got her machete and she opened the door.
Wait a minute. You mean the police came with somebody? When the police start doing that?
I don't know.
That's very confrontational.
So, right. And so I agree with you. So that's the thing. So according to Brianna, it immediately made her like, oh, she's saying the only person she saw in the peephole was her. She didn't see the cop. She just saw her, and it was like, oh shit, it's about to go down. So then she said that she opened the door, and the cops like immediately were trying to grab her, and she was like, not in front of my child, don't traumatize my. It just turned into a whole bad situation. Wow. Right? As we are all, unfortunately, we're like all too used to, right? So now she was arrested and in her own home. And I'm sure there are maybe some more details about it or whatever, but that's what she's dealing with. Because I think they're trying to charge her with like, with a deadly weapon, like threatening with a deadly weapon or some shit like that, because she had a machete.
Child, see, first of all, what you open the door for?
Yes.
Did you see on the thing why she opened it? I mean, just because they were police, that's why she opened it?
No, she's saying she didn't know there were police.
Oh, that's right. She only saw the girl.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she thought she was about to do something.
Yep. And that's why she got the knife.
No, Brianna thought she was going to do something with that knife.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess if she was like, if you're going to show up at my house. So, and then, so they're all dealing with, and then a little twist, it's his third strike in Texas, as we know. I mean, they're all dealing with some crazy stuff.
You know what? At first, I wasn't into TT like that, but I appreciate her storyline versus anybody else's.
Yeah.
It's more refreshing, to have versus the other stuff that's going on in the show.
Yes. And also to like their mess level between her and Sean and like Sam and Egypt, or like kind of like that family divide was kind of the darkness level of mess that was what the show was good for. You know what I mean? Now this season, it's gotten really like yikes, and even Eazy-E's son is fighting with his sisters because they want to exhume his body and find out if he was murdered. It's like a lot of dark shit.
That's so absurd. Just for me knowing about what I know, what? Okay, like really, you really want to put that out there?
Yep.
I mean, I understand, because if that's your daddy, and you have a strong feeling about something, I get it. You want to investigate at least. I get it. But that needs to be done on a hush hush.
Yeah, isn't it like they were doing a documentary on it and stuff?
I mean, for someone for them to put that allegation out there is really wild. Really wild, considering he got all these kids, number one.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to say he didn't contract it that way. By the time he found out, it was full blown. What you talking about? So they're trying to say somebody gave him something in the hospital?
Yeah.
Well, I hope it didn't happen.
I do too. I mean, like you're saying, I guess if I really truly believe there was enough compelling evidence that there was something going on, like, I guess, you fight till the end to prove some shit, But I think like his position has been like, I don't want to drag this up. Like, and I guess there is a point of when do you just make peace with something?
Right.
Because knowing that somebody took his life, like where are you looking for? There's nobody to sue. There's nowhere to get justice. Like, then good luck figuring out who did it,
I was about to say, is there a suspect?
No, yeah. I mean, it's like,
what's going on? Did Dre do it? What? Just joking, but I'm just saying, who?
Well, yeah. I mean, once you start going down these kind of, yeah, exactly. Like,
okay, we got the what and the who. I mean, usually there is a who there. Who? What you trying to say? Are they trying to say it was the wife since they got beef with her?
No, I don't remember. Like, they talked about more of the theory about who they think what was going down like first season, because Eazy-E's son, I always forget his name.
Eric Jr.
Thank you. Like, I know it's a junior, but I can't. Yeah, Eric Jr. That was so sad. I'm like, Aaron, Eazy-E. I remember it's Junior, and I couldn't remember that it was Eric. Wow. Let me just call that out on myself.
Well, how about little Eazy-E? I think that's what
right now. But anyway, he was speaking more about his opinions about the conspiracy, like about it being a murder or being like suspect. His first season. I feel like now
I remember that.
Right? I feel like now that he's established, he doesn't want to do it.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, because he's like, my sisters and I are like, we're at odds because they want to pursue exhuming his body and, continue on about proving his death, like, the suspicions they have about it. And he just doesn't want to.
Right. Little Eazy-E don't want to go through with it.
No.
Well, why is he bringing it up?
I think that's his storyline.
Here we go. Here we go.
Because you got to have a little one.
Sound like something. Shut up, Rachel. I ain't going to say nothing else. Nothing, get my page shut down. I ain't gonna say nothing else. I wish him well.
Yes. Keep on being good TV.
Right. I just wish Brianna could film with them again so I can see something.
Yeah.
I know. His wife and her have a talk.
Yes. Yes. I know, because that's where it gets interesting. But when they're all so like hostile towards one another, they physically can't even be in the same room.
That was the last time I think they were together, was when his wife and Brianna had words.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall them all being together like that, or at least Brianna, because really since I think that's the same season that Egypt hit her, so she ain't really been feeling with everybody, right?
No, remember, like, I don't know, she's done some weird shit to Eric. Like, she showed up to film a scene on shrooms, and he was like, and she was being really hostile with him, like, and then, like, I don't know, like, she's been, like, she's on the limited perspective I've seen, it seems like she's just difficult to film with him, like, I don't know what it is.
Maybe it's because they did it before, and
that's probably what it is. Because it just she gets real weird with him. She gets hostile.
It's like she's playing with him.
Yes,
and because normally the wife ain't gonna let you be around some piece that you already had showing up.
Right.
I know I wouldn't.
Right.
If you ain't got kids with her, Shomi need to be nowhere near you.
Yep.
So that's how I am. But about some ex stuff that you had, and she's starting stuff with you. I think Brianna I think she's doing that on purpose just because he has a wife.
It seemed like she kind of wanted to flirt with him or have a certain kind of relationship, and that was not the energy he was going to give back.
I wouldn't, just on the strength of why him? Like, what?
Well, remember when she had that crazy storyline? We're trying to hit on Boog for a minute.
That's what I was thinking. She better off doing that Boog storyline.
But he was like, "Don't you even joke with me." He was not having it at all.
Like Brianna?
Yeah, he was like, you're like a big sis. You're like a big on drugs and drunk sis. Yeah. And she got so rancid to him after that. Do you remember that? It was like at the end of one season. Listen, I get it if somebody told you to try to pursue a storyline and whatever, but I think you actually had a little crush on him because the way you turned on his ass was
I think so.
hostile.
I concur.
And the way that she would like have a drink in front of him, I was like, you are mean.
She was, she was doing that baby mama thing.
Yes, she was.
Just cutting up.
Indeed. Well, it's just going to continue on because obviously Sam and Egypt got married on camera too. So, or maybe, yeah, I think so. I don't know. Actually, I'm not even sure. They must have. They wouldn't have done it if it weren't for. I'm sure cameras were there.
I know Tretch is just rolling over.
I know. He's like, man, we need this money. I don't even know. I don't know what's happening. You're looking foolish. Did you see that picture of them in the wedding in the outfit? They all look silly. I'll have to send you a wedding photo. They look silly. Tresh and Pep look silly. They look like they're at their kid's prom or something.
Probably was. Probably was. Who else on there? Where Twist at? I haven't seen him in a minute.
No, they haven't shown him. They kind of brought out his court thing that he's got going on, and his family members are like, yo, we're putting money in you. Stop doing stupid shit.
Yeah, I saw somebody reading him the riot act about his behavior.
Yes. And that's the last I saw.
Who else on there? Bud, he's still quiet.
Oh, then JoJo is jealous of his baby.
Okay, I saw that episode where she wouldn't go get him no medicine.
Yes.
I feel a way about that. She could have got up and got him some medicine.
Yes. I feel like the fights they always have between the two of them are always so like silly and stupid. You know what I mean? It's like, what is this your storyline?
It's obvious she didn't want to go.
Yes.
And that's messed up. All she had to do was go, like you said, just go and come back. I'll watch the baby. I mean, what? It's not like he can't watch his own baby.
Yeah, and if he can't.
She didn't want to go, and that's messed up. He's sick.
I know.
You're able-bodied, so go.
Yeah, that's called a marriage.
It ain't like he's on death's door and you don't want the baby sick. That's just messed up. You had to get up and risk COVID, get him some because she didn't want to go.
No, she don't love him. No, I'm just kidding.
But I'm glad that they had a healthy baby considering.
Yeah, me too. It's sad. I know that. And he got his boy. He got his son. Cute baby.
Yeah. Is Vanessa on there this summer? I mean, this season?
Yes, she is. She got kind of dragged into the like initial drama around TT and who knows what and blah blah blah, but that's like about it. The Simmons. Those two girls never have to have major storylines.
Interesting.
And Angela's going to Atlanta.
She don't know what she won't do.
No, she doesn't. That's obvious.
I don't know what happened with that boxer. He was kind of cute.
He just disappeared. Like that shit was like, if it was serious enough to be a storyline on the show, and then the next thing you know, nope, bye. I'm like, what happened?
I remember she was trying to come, and he was like, "Nah, you can't because all this going on." And
right.
And I think I think maybe she got embarrassed off of that.
Yeah. I would have been more embarrassed off curling up by the fire in matching pajamas. Outfits like they did.
Yeah, because that was Boo. That was Boo.
Right.
Boo and Bae. Now he Gone.
Yep. Him and his oatmeal colored tracksuit.
I always say these beautiful women can't keep a man. Shit, man don't want to be kept. How about that?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah.
You know, these beautiful women, this and that, and maybe the man don't want to be kept.
Yep. Nope. I think that he was into it for a minute, but then he was like, no, I don't want this kind of commitment.
I mean, he ain't got no kids. She do.
Yep.
I mean, you know, not every man will want you just because.
Yep.
Really turn some people off. Maybe that's it.
Well, I just heard that Gemma got home from Disneyland, so I don't want to cut this off too short, but I also don't want to put the viewers through the screaming of the Disneyland. So we will be back. Now that we're started, we're not stopping.
Heck no, we got something to say.
We clearly.
Because the thing of it is that
allegedly speaking, of course.
Heck yeah. Well, till next time, mamas.
Till next time, have yourself a good evening.
That's right. All right, then.